Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Lee. I'm going to help you today with activity 3, and it's a lot about unit conversion, and I happen to personally use a lot of unit conversions, and this is how I do it. So the first example says Micah ran 200 meters in 29 seconds. 200 meters in 29 seconds. And what is his approximate average speed in miles per hour? Okay, so if you notice, the units are completely different. So here we have information that's in meters per second, in meters and seconds, and this is in miles per hour. So what to do? What we're going to do first is write it as a speed. Speed is always distance over time. Think of miles per hour. You know, if you think about the speed of your car, how fast it's going in miles per hour. So here goes. So it's going to be 200 on top. Sorry for that line. It'll happen like that. It's been doing that today. So meters over 29 seconds. Okay, and all we're going to do is we're going to multiply by 1. So I'm going to change my color here. And we're going to multiply a special looking 1. It's not going to look like 1, but it is 1. And if we multiply by 1, we're not actually changing the value. So what we're going to do here is, I know that I want to get rid of seconds. So I do know that there's 1 minute in 60 seconds. There is 1 minute and 60 seconds. Sorry, that 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So what I'm going to do is, since my seconds are on the bottom in the denominator, I'm going to put this in the numerator so that they can cancel out. I don't know if you knew that, but when I was in school, I did not know that I could cancel out units. And then one of my teachers told me, I was like, what? So you'll use that a lot in physics and science classes when you're converting units. So we got seconds, and then we got minutes down here. And I know that there are 60 seconds for every 1 minute. And so since I included, so the numbers by itself obviously is not 1. 60 divided by 1 is 60, not 1. But if we have 60 seconds divided by 1 minute, that is equal to 1 because we know that 60 seconds is equal to 1 minute. Okay, so that's why here the units are very, very important. And now I can cancel out seconds, and all I have left is meters, and then on the top, and minutes on the bottom. We're not there yet though, because it says we want hours. So, but I do know, and if you didn't know, they would be written here for you anyways, that there's for 1 hour it's 60 minutes. So since my minutes are on the denominator, I put in the numerator, and then my hour in the denominator. And I know that there are 60 minutes for 1 hour. Okay, and then I'm going to multiply that. So, oh, not yet, not there yet. So now I have hours, right? Hours, good. So now I want to change my meters to miles, but I don't know the conversion for that, and they didn't give it to us. But I do know that there are, do know how to convert from meters to kilometers, and then kilometers to miles. So we're going to use that. So it's going to be a two-step process here. So I'm going to change my meters to, put them on the bottom since my meters in the numerator here, and then my kilometers, sorry about that, on top. So I know that there is 1 kilometer for every 1,000 meters. Now think kilometer is like kilo, and then meter is, so there's 1,000 meters. Kilo, that prefix is means 1,000. So kilometer, kilogram, yes, that's what that would be. So that would be 1,000 meters or 1,000 grams or whatever it is. 1,000 items, let's say. So now I know from kilometer, I'm going to use my last one right here. So 1 mile is equal to 1.6 kilometers. So I'm going to put down my kilometers on the bottom and then my miles on top. Since my kilometers are on, they will cancel out. And then what I'm going to do here is, I know that there are for 1 mile is 1.6 kilometers. And now I have all the units that I want. I have on top everything, all the units are canceled out except for my miles. And then on the denominator, I have the only thing that's canceled out. I know it kind of looks like canceled out here, but it's not. It's my hours. So I'm just going to multiply straight across. So it's going to be 200 times 60 times 60 times 1 times 1. So if I do that, is going to be 200. Feel free to do that along with me. That is going to be 720,000 divided by, and then the denominator, which is 29 times 1,000 times 1.6. And that's going to be 46,400. And all I'm going to do here is I'm going to just divide those guys. And so I get about 15.517, blah, blah, blah. So I don't need to, this is just miles per hour. I don't need to be that specific. So I'm just going to round to nearest tenths place, so which is 1 decimal place. So it's going to be 15.5. It stays as 5 because it doesn't round up, because the 1 is closer to the 5 than it is to the 6. So it's going to be 15.5 miles per hour. Or you can say 15.5 mph. We use that a lot. I think we only use it for miles per hour. I don't think we use it for anything else. So yeah, so Micah runs on average about 15.5 miles per hour. Whether he can sustain that speed, I don't know. But at least for those 29 seconds, that's how fast he's going. So now for example 2, there are 3 examples here. And here we go. So Shaw has 5 kilograms of hot chocolate mix. It's a lot of hot chocolate mix. She wants to give them to her friends in 15-gram containers. How many 15-gram containers does she need to buy? Now 15 grams is not a lot, so I'm sure she's going to make a whole bunch. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change my color here. So we don't have any like rates or anything like that, so we just know we just want to change it to grams so I can divide it into 15 grams. I can't just go 5 divided by 15 because this is in 5 kilograms and this is in grams. But look, it gives you how many kilograms and grams, how many grams are needed to get a kilogram. So it's 5 kilograms. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply by 1 again. And I know that kilograms would go on the bottom here and grams would go on the top. And it's 1,000 grams for 1 kilogram. Kilograms, cancel out. And then just going to multiply straight across. And you're like, oh, 5,000. And a lot of guys were like, Miss Lee, we could have just done that in my head. And yeah, you could have. I just want to show you that it does work this way too. Just so that you know. But this is not our answer. We can't say 5,000 grams. That's not what we're wanting to know. Shaw wants to know how many 15-gram containers she needs to buy. And I hope these are very cheap containers because this is going to be a lot. I have a feeling. So we're going to go, there's 5,000 grams that she has. That's a 0, by the way. And we're going to see how many 15 grams we can get out of that. So it's going to be 5,000 divided by 15. And our answer is going to be 333.3 bar. Okay, so whenever we're buying containers, you don't ask them, oh, can I buy 333.3 bar containers? Nobody does that because they'll look at you funny. And so what we're going to do, we don't want to, this part right here, we're just going to use ourselves or Shaw can use herself because she probably doesn't want to give a person just a third of it filled. So here we go, 333, sorry about these lines, 15-gram containers. That's how many she should buy. 333 15-gram containers. The end. All right, we're going to move on to the last example. And as you can see, I have no room, but that's okay. I will make room just for you. All right, see, it's all gone. And we're going to be back on track. So to get rid of fruit flies, I don't know about you guys, but we had once a trouble with some fruit flies. They were not very nice. And they kept on multiplying very, very quickly. So I had to look up online like how you can get rid of them. And I didn't want to use like kind of chemical things. So you can actually, a very effective way to get them is using apple cider vinegar. And so this is an actual recipe that you can use. Hopefully you guys are not dealing with fruit flies. But if you are, this is a really easy and way to get rid of them. And here we go. So you need a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar for every 1 cup of water, plus a couple drops of dish soap. So that dish soap, whatever dish soap you use, you just put a couple drops in there, and that just apparently when the flies go in there, it just weighs down the what is it, the flies, so it can't get out, and it just stays in there. We'll just keep it at a G version there. If we want to use 5 cups of water, how many tablespoons of apple cider vinegar do you need? So we want 5 cups instead of just 1 cup. We really want to make a big solution of this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to multiply that by 5 times 1/4, right? And so that's going to, remember, this is like over 1. So it's going to be 5 times 1, which is 5. And then it's just, remember there's that invisible 1 there. So I'm just going to put a little dot. You don't see me. So 1 times 4, which is 4. Okay, so that's going to be 5/4. We want 5/4 cup. But let's say we don't have a cup measure, right? Then what do? We just have tablespoons. So what we're going to do is we're going to convert. So we have 5/4 cups. And we want to convert that to tablespoons. And we know that 1 cup is equal to 16 tablespoons. So I'm thinking if this is more than 1 cup, it's going to be more than that. And I'm sure some of you guys can do that in your heads. But I'm going to just show you how to do that still with the same technique, multiplying by 1. So since the cup is on top, we're going to put the cups on the bottom, and then the tablespoon on top. So the abbreviation for tablespoon is, well, there's a couple different ways, but it is always a capital T and then a B. Sometimes it's capital TB and then SP or TBS or something like that, but the lowercase t, if any of you guys have done any kind of baking, is for teaspoons, which is like, think about the little kid spoon, like that's what it would be. So it's going to be 16 tablespoons for 1 cup. So and then we cancel out the cups, we got tablespoons, which is what we need. Great, so now we're just going to multiply straight across. So 5 times 16 is going to be 80. I don't know why it keeps on doing that, so sorry guys. And then 4 times 1, which is 4. And so I'm going to reduce that down. So 80 divided by 4 is 20. So I'm going to need 20 tablespoons. Okay? 20 tablespoons needed. Happy days. Okay? Hopefully that was helpful for you, and if you don't remember it, or if you don't remember, but if you need any more extra help, or if you need to go back and look at it again, feel free to review the video, skip to the parts where you need. Yes, have a good one, guys.